You might ask yourself, what has a walk in the woods to do with the process control? It's quite easy. It all comes together with a little boy who is a little bit slow and who holds up the rest of the group. Let me show you how it all comes together. Hello and servus from Bavaria. Welcome to the Mahlo webcast, also known as mCast. If you haven't subscribed to this fantastic tool, this is the time and place to do so. My name is Stefan Keri. I'm responsible for the product management of textile goods and also a little bit for sales at Mahlo. Today's topic, zack, nochmal zack, is process control. And I will tell you the process control a little bit through a walk in the woods. So let's jump right in. First of all, I want to introduce Ben. I met Ben actually when I was leading the Boy Scouts. But Ben was a very, very small and heavy child. Nobody liked him. He was spending a lot of time playing computer games. He didn't go outside and he didn't have a lot of friends. He was slow. He didn't like sports, but he was actually quite a nice guy. When his parents decided to put him to the Boy Scouts, he actually became quite familiar with the woods, with all the toys and the tools that we are using, and also with the other boys. So he was absolutely head over heels when we decided to do a tented camp in the middle of the forest on a special weekend. So this will be the second one, but then the way back from the tented camp, because of forecast of heavy rains, was actually bringing us into a big dilemma. I want to tell you about this dilemma as well. And then finally, I want to summarize that as something that will happen in the production as well every single day that you have. But first of all, my question to you is, if you would give names to all the machines in your production floor, do you have a Ben? And who or which machine would be Ben? The slow machine, the old machine, the machine which is not performing too well, the machine that nobody really loves. So if you could leave a name or a machine in the comments, that would be very helpful. We wouldn't tell anybody else, so the machine wouldn't be upset. But let's get back to the walk in the woods. So this one weekend, Ben was absolutely excited. He had a day pack full of food, sweets, but also with his gear. So he had a very heavy load, but it didn't matter because the way to the tented camp was approximately 2 hours. He needed 3 hours, but because we were not in a rush, that was absolutely fine. We made 2 or 3 groups and Ben always was in the last group. We had a look at him and we managed quite well to go to the tented camp. We had a fabulous time there also together with Ben. And then on Sunday, we needed to go back. But in the morning already, we got an information that there was a thunderstorm coming in. And it was actually only 2 hours left until this thunderstorm would hit us heavily. So we really packed everything in a rush and then we started to walk. Instead of 3 groups, we just had 1 group because everybody wanted to go back to the parking space. And it happened so that the big boys, they were always first, and at the very end there was Ben. And we waited from time to time, every 15 minutes, to let him catch up. And then it so happened that once he was there, everybody else was organizing itself again, and then they started walking. Ben still was totally out of breath and needed some more time to get back on track. So from the very first moment, he was again losing the space between him. And that happened 2 or 3 times, and I recognized that every time when we were coming together, we lost even more time. We were even slower than on the way to the tented camp. So what we did was actually we took the rucksack of little Ben, we looked what was inside, and then we just took all the stuff that he had and gave it to the other boys, the ones who could carry some load, and we made it easier for him to walk. So finally he had a rucksack which was very, very light, and that was easy for him to carry. And instead of leaving him behind, we put him first. And by doing so, the pace of the entire group was following the pace of little Ben. And all of a sudden, it was going smoothly, because there was no holding back anymore. He was doing his pace was faster now. He felt recognized, we all supported him in the best way possible, and really, he's done such a great job. We walked for 2 hours, we reached the parking lot just in time, just before the thunderstorm came, and we were all very happy about it. So, why did I tell you this story? It's quite easy. If we have a machine, which is Ben, and this machine is doing very, very slow, this machine is your bottleneck. This bottleneck defines the pace of your entire production floor. So, for example, the stenter, whatever you can't dry, you cannot produce in all the wet finishing machines. So, not in the dyeing machines, not in the washing machines, not in the bleaching machines, not in the mercerizer. Because whatever you would produce there and is held back by the bottleneck, the stenter, will not be dried. So, your aim must be to strictly open this bottleneck, because it has a negative impact on every machine, on your production floor. So every assistance that you can give to this bottleneck is boosting your entire production. Dyeing machines, bleaching range, simply everything. So let's come to the point. The process control actually is doing exactly this thing. The process control helps your little Ben, your machine, to get less load, to work faster, to perform simply better. The efficiency of your bottleneck will go up, and by doing so, your entire production floor only goes through the sky. And this is exactly how we want to help you. So, ask our sales team and start right now, because ask Ben. The sooner you help him, the better it is. So, thank you very much for your time. If you haven't subscribed yet, so go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there. If you have any question about that, don't hesitate to ask me, stevankeri@mahlo.com. Thank you very much again for your time, and see you again in the next mCast. Bye-bye.